Hi everyone, it's Sergeant Buonarostro with Dyess Innovation Group. So in the last video, we talked about what it is we do and some of our goals with Dyess Innovation Group. In this video, we're actually going to talk about one of our projects that is pretty much nearly complete. And in order to talk about that today, with me I have Tech Sergeant Ottinger.
Hi.
Thank you for being with us today.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you want, you can actually introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi, I'm Tech Sergeant Michael Ottinger. I've been in the Air Force for 14 years, and I work at the F-101 engine centralized repair facility for the B-1B engine.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. So, what we're talking about is Dyess Innovation Group in this series and kind of what we do and what we're trying to accomplish across Dyess Air Force Base. So, if you would, could you talk about your project and kind of where the idea came from, how Dyess Innovation Group assisted you, and then kind of where you're at right now with the project and how far it is from completion?
Yeah, absolutely. So this tool is used on the F-110 engine, it's the F-16 engine. That was my first duty assignment, and when I got to Dyess, I realized that we're not using this tool because the F-101 is an older version of the F-110. So I worked with my GE rep to try to fund it through them. It wasn't going to happen through them. So when that avenue failed, I asked for the blueprints, and I worked with sheet metal to get this tool made. And then once the tool was made, I used my connections with Sergeant Buonarostro to be able to test it on a condemned motor. So I'm not risking any asset that is still used on the B-1B during the testing phase. And through this connection, she allowed us to use one of her training engines here to test it on the lower fan outer duct in a lower fan stator case. The mode is much more efficient. It's just brings a new life to the program.
Awesome. Thank you for that. How do you think that Dyess Innovation Group helped you with your project?
So obviously, leadership has some hesitation to allow somebody to test a unproven tool on a serviceable asset. So Dyess Innovation Group, through my connection with Sergeant Buonarostro, she allowed me to test it on the same engine. It's just a condemned engine, but without having the risk of potentially damaging components during testing.
Thank you for that. So, do you feel like having a network such as Dyess Innovation Group and having that central point of contact where anyone can reach out to start a project and accomplish a project would be helpful for really anyone across Dyess Air Force Base?
Yeah, absolutely. I think having the Dyess Innovation Group as a network on base allows us to accomplish so many more things because you have everybody with different skill sets, whether it's their primary duty or it's just their hobby. Somebody could utilize that network to accomplish their goal, whether maybe it's designing a 3D print or getting a tool made that they want to increase the efficiency of their job. It could be something as simple as using the Excel, but having a network such as Dyess Innovation Group, is it just here's the network, see what you need, and contact that person.
And that's essentially what we're trying to do with Dyess Innovation Group is to build that massive network across Dyess Air Force Base.
Right.
So, you don't have those questions of who do I go to, where do I go? We're kind of just all centralized.
Yeah.
So, yeah, awesome. I'm glad that worked out. So where are you with your project currently?
So right now we're in the testing and implementation phase. So we've already tested it. We're waiting for the Tinker engineers to come down and validate and verify what we've tested and what we've suggested for the TO updates.
Awesome. I also heard that your project made it to AFWERX Ether Sprint.
Yeah, we made it to the top 25. Didn't make it all the way, but it's still a big accomplishment to even get selected out of the 200 or so submissions that were submitted for this project.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing us to help you.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course. So one more thing. Final words of wisdom to anyone out there who's thinking about innovation, maybe has an innovative idea, maybe has, a skill set of theirs where they don't know really where to use it. Any sort of words of wisdom as far as innovation goes for those airmen?
Yeah, I would definitely say reach out to DIG, see what it's about, and maybe join it if you feel comfortable with it. But also, if you have an idea, don't leave it as an idea.
Right.
Talk to your supervisors, talk to your peers. If they think they could benefit from that idea, then explore it. And if you don't know how to explore it, that's where the Dyess Innovation Group comes into play. It can help you explore it further than you can imagine, because we're not all experienced in everything that we want to accomplish. Like, I don't know how to make this tool, but I gave the blueprints to Metals Tech, and they made this tool, and it's a very useful tool that's going to make the Seoul F101 repair facility that much more efficient.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, Sergeant Ottinger. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So that's part 2 of Dyess Innovation Group and a project that we were able to accomplish. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us. If you'd like to join Dyess Innovation Group, just want to know more about it, or if you have ideas that you would like to get accomplished, please reach out to us. Our contact info will be on the screen. So thank you so much for watching.